guys. This is a random, almost midnight vlog, another really random vlog because that's my MO lately. I just randomly blurt stuff to you guys. But I was just sitting here working on a book. I just typed for like 30 minutes and now I'm planning things which I can't show you because if you were to read the book, then it would spoil the book. So, but basically, I'm just kind of planning what's next because it's kind of what I did with Thunder's Corner. Also, I get to a certain point and then I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing next. And then I write that and then you know, I'll repeat. I don't plan it all out at once and I don't like write it all at once either. I kind of like go back and forth. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, which is honestly the planning is harder than the writing. But anyway, but I was thinking about how this is my fourth book, technically, if we're counting the poems. So like this is the fourth book that'll be published within a year. And I was thinking about how several years ago, makes me sound old, but it was almost 10 years ago when I graduated high school in 2016, and I thought that I had my life figured out. I was going to go to college, I was going to become a veterinarian, and that was my life. That was what I had planned from the time I was a child. That was what my life was going to look like. Obviously, that didn't happen. I only made it through, counting both times, about 3 months of college before my health was just too bad that I literally couldn't. So I had to drop that. And then I found this new purpose of, okay, I'm going to train the horses. And I did that for several years. But then we moved. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Okay, well, I'm going to go, throw all of my things into running 5Ks. And thankfully I did run one. But then my health stopped me from that also. And it's crazy to think about the chapters of life where I had these moments where I thought I had it all figured out. And never once thought about, like, publishing a book. Like, I wrote a book with Brooke, but I never really thought about much beyond that. And now I sit here, late 2025, and I have 3 books published and a 4th on the way, and I realize that I'm not sad about where life took me. In regards to like the plan I had, if you will. I remember so many nights at Cedarville praying that, God would just let me continue college, let me continue this plan I had, and, just please. And obviously that wasn't the plan that he had. And I was very upset about it at the time, but I sit here and I'm like, I can't imagine doing anything else now. I can't imagine not writing books. It brings me joy. It brings me happiness. It's a weird thing to say when I'm currently writing a psychological thriller, but you know what I mean. Like it brings me peace. It allows me to escape into a different world of my own creation. Ever since I was a kid, and looking back, connecting the dots is interesting because when I was a kid, I would write these short stories and then I would read them to my mom and my grandpa and be like so proud of them. And I did that for a while. I don't know when I stopped, but so that little bit of writing, it was always there. I enjoyed writing essays in school. I was that kid, okay? But looking back, connecting the dots is interesting. And honestly, for me, this brings me so much joy because it's something that, I'm not saying that something couldn't happen that could stop me from this too, because things have happened, throughout my life. But for me, thinking the positive aspect, this is something that my health hasn't stopped me from. I can plan a book sitting in a hospital. I can write a book sitting in the hospital. I can work weird hours. It's almost midnight and I was just writing. I write in the morning when I don't have to worry about my sugar. I can sit here, drink an apple juice, and plan a book. Like, it's something that, as of to date, my health hasn't been able to stop me from. And I'm very thankful for that. And as long as that pattern continues, I can see myself continuing to write books because I already have one planned after this one. And I'm also just, not even about the book writing, but I'm just thankful about how things have turned out within the past several months. Like, I never thought that getting a diabetic alert dog was going to be possible for me because those things are like $20,000. And then the stars aligned. I have a trainer willing to do his first session for free. Show me how to do it. And I have Petco that is very cheap rates, willing to help me. and I'm able to get a puppy that's a well-bred golden retriever for a lot cheaper than I thought. And that's all happening in like less than 2 months. And yeah, I'm just, if even like, even just not even 2016, but even if beginning of 2024 me saw end of 2025 me, I wouldn't believe how much has changed for me in that period of time. I've just, in the span of a year, almost two, I've published 3 books and I'm working on my fourth. I'm going to be getting a diabetic alert dog. I have an endocrine that's willing to fight for me and figure out what's going on and not just keep pushing stuff that's not working on me. You know, so much, so much has happened in that little span, and I think it's something that I need to focus on because our minds tend to go to the negative, right? And there's been a lot of negative in the last year and a half, but so much good has happened in the last year and a half, in the last 10 years, and it's just crazy looking back. It's just crazy looking back. The plan I had for my life turned out completely different, and I'm very, very happy with where it's at. And honestly, I can't imagine it not being this now.